I'm going to do it. All right. Coach Helen for YouFit Studio. Yes, right. So I already said it, fear of missing out. So what is it essentially? It sounds straightforward, and it kind of is to some degree. So fear of missing out. It's the idea that you might be missing out on other people essentially having more fun or having a better time than you are purely through what they're doing. Okay, so let me just recap that again. So FOMO is the idea you might be missing out on fun because you see other people doing something or having a better time. And it actually can lead to, it does actually for some people, I've seen it happen before, lead to a sense of helplessness or lack of control over outcomes, right? So it's the most FOMO I've seen, and I have used this example before, and I will use it again because it still exists, I think. The most FOMO I saw during lockdown was when it came to people seeing others use the online classes through the YouFit page, or when they saw them at boot camps, pictures, or when somebody posted that they were perhaps working out a particular way. There was a lot of FOMO or fear of missing out from clients when I was having conversations. As I said, it still kind of exists at the moment. It was almost as if, and this is what happens with FOMO, there's almost like an anxiety that somehow your own situation may be better if you were able to do the things that other people were. As in, a working example of this would be that I experienced regularly would be, because of my working hours, I can't do the Facebook lives or whatever. And actually, if I was able to, then I would be able to keep track of my weight. Therefore, in reality, that's the reason why I'm not able to actually manage my weight at the moment, and it's not in control. That was a common conversation that was happening last year, and a lot of it, and I'm going to use the word, and it's not a judgment on anybody, by the way, because I think it gets a negative connotation. A negative connotation, and that's an element of envy sometimes when it comes to situation, that everyone feels emotionally that their situation would be easier or better somehow if they had access to something that somebody else has, right? That's a very long-winded way of saying it. However, that's exactly how sometimes it can be. So if you've seen someone on social media and they, they've got a very nice set of dumbbells, it's like, well, I would be able to do that if I could. I don't have those dumbbells because I don't. So, I'm missing out on being able to do that because I don't have access to that. Therefore, I'm feeling like, I'm not doing well enough, or I'm somehow anxious around my control over my results because I can't do that, right? Now, the interesting thing is the word I use there, and it's one of the points I'm going to make later on. You may or may not notice it because I talk about it a lot. Is the language that comes around that? Okay, and I'm going to go through it again because I know you love going through it. So emotions, right? Emotions or feelings. When someone uses the word feeling, is created by a thought process. If I can think myself into being jealous or envious because I keep thinking about how I'm so hard done by that I don't have something that somebody else has, then that is how I will feel. If I continue to think myself frustrated and angry, that is the emotion that I will create, and therefore the behaviours that I will exhibit. So one of the first things to do if you find yourself feeling this way, like feeling like you're missing out, or somehow your situation would be better if you had something else, is to change your own language. What are you telling yourself? Okay, first step, always challenge your own language. And it's sometimes you can catch it in how you say it to other people, yes. Often I do find it's the internal thought process that creates this situation, or it creates these emotions, or it creates this anxiety, or whatever it is the internal thoughts that are creating it, right? Everyone looks at the behaviours and the habits at the end like, oh, I did this. It doesn't just happen, right? You do an action because you feel a certain way. You feel a certain way because your thoughts have created that. You've self-created those emotions and those feelings, and then they result in behaviours. And the second thing, so if your first thing is to challenge yourself in language, second thing is to redirect your thoughts immediately from what you may be missing out on to what you have right now. Change it from what you don't have to what you have right now. Because if you spend your whole time focusing on what you don't have and that somebody else has, and I'm missing out because they've got that and I don't, then guess what? You're not going to appreciate or do anything with things you have. There was a real great example of this where I had a client with who had a treadmill that was not used all year. Now this client really was missing out on using strength and couldn't get hold of any weights online, and so was continuously scrolling through social media and Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and going, oh no, look, they've got these weights, I want these weights, how they got them, etc, etc. And during that whole time, it wasn't until this last lockdown started to use the treadmill that was in their house the whole time, because actually, and we discussed it and what was happening, and they admitted and said, you know what, I spent all the time focusing on what I didn't have, that I didn't even stop to think that I could be doing something with what I have, and actually I'm in a better position than I think I am if I just stop thinking about what I don't have and do what I do have. Let's get it in, didn't I? So change your focus from what you don't have and what you wish to have and what you're missing out on or perceive you're missing out on, and focus on what you have and change your thought process and language so you can actually change the way you feel about it. Hands down, one of the best things, third point, that you can do is to journal gratitude. If you are somebody that finds yourself doing this a lot, right? So again, I'm using a word that either envious or fear that you're missing out on something, or believe or have created the belief that a reason for you not being able to be successful or to change your journey at the moment is because you don't have something or somebody has something you don't. The best thing to do is start to do a gratitude log. I have a client at minute journaling and she's like, I don't know what to say, I don't know what I'm grateful for. Well, some things we have we don't even stop to reflect on and say, actually, what would life be like if I didn't have this? What would life be like if I didn't have a partner supported me or helped me make dinner? What would life be like if I didn't enjoy my job? What would life be like if? And then start to think about, actually, my life is better because I have X, Y, Z, right? So journaling and reflecting on what you're grateful for. And that's why we do actually bring a lot of this into mindset stuff when we're working with clients, because for just this reason, that to create a real great, what's the word? I say gratitude, but not. It's enjoyment. Actually, to enjoy the journey of changing your mindset and changing your health is to be constantly reflecting or regularly reflecting on what you've been successful in and what you've gained through the process so far, even if you haven't got further along. Because again, talking about FOMO or fear of missing out, so often as well we'll have clients who will be at a particular point in their journey. They may be midway, early to midway, and you look at clients further along the journey and there's that same thing, like, well, they could do that because they had X, Y, Z, or they were able to do that because they had A, B, C, and I can't get there because I don't. And actually, it's so not true. That's not, it's fundamentally false that somebody has something better or has done something that you've missed out on that has allowed them to get further along in their journey or to make greater changes. It is literally because they challenged their own mindset and gone through exactly the same process as you are. So this is what a lot of clients don't understand, that it's very, very common to look forward and to look at other people and compare and say, I would be better if. I'm anxious that I can't get along because I don't have what they have. I'm missing out on the benefits and the things that they have because I don't have them. And the reality is that, you know, we have these conversations so regularly that the irony is that the person you're looking at has probably said that about somebody before them, and then somebody before them, and then somebody before them, right? If you're always looking away from what you have to what you're missing out on or do not have, you will devalue and miss out on the things you have right now that could get you out of that point and move you forwards, right? So let's do a recap, okay? So fear of missing out, right? So read the definition. It's an idea you might be missing out on other people, on what other people have, that they're having more fun, or they're having a better time, or they're having more success, right? It can create a lot of helplessness and a feeling of a lack of control over your outcomes, right? And I said the most FOMO I've seen was over the classes, boot camps, was over access to things that people believed they did not have, right, or could not have. So actually, there is an element of envy, and I say it's not a negative connotation. It does have something negative attached to it. I don't think it necessarily is. I think we all have some envy at some point. I admit that I'm envious of people, absolutely. However, if you allow that to run in your head and your thought processes run away with you, you can think yourself into a trickier and trickier situation where you're not seeing what you have. So one of the first things I said was check your own language. Listen to what you're saying, the words you're saying, right? Actually dial into it. Think, I'm not even a pun, think about the words you're saying to yourself, right? Reflect on what they are and what they're saying, because 9.9 times out of 10, that's the real reason that you're not getting stuff done, and people aren't FOMO of you, right? Because actually the thought process is holding you back. So change your own language, reflect on what you have. You will have, everyone has something. Everyone has something. Flat 100%. Everyone has something that other people would probably say, I wish I had that. I'm missing out on what they have, right? This is the biggest irony of us all. The point I'm making is that we often look at other people like they have something we don't have, but actually there's plenty that we have that other people would want, right? But if you spend all your time being envious of other people and feeling that your outcomes are out of control because you don't have what they have, you will not use what you already have to move forward. And that's what will keep you there as well, the thought process, and not being grateful and not reflecting on what you can use and do right now and act on. It goes to my final point that actually being reflective and doing a gratitude journal, if you are someone who has a propensity to do this, oh, big word. Wow, can't do that again. How to breathe out now. If you are someone who is likely, feel more comfortable with that, likely to do this, and you know that and accept that, then look into doing a gratitude journal. You can do them. There's loads of apps now even. This is what I do. I do a gratitude app on the morning on my iPad, right? Because I can never find a pen at the appropriate time in the morning. However, that's the way of the world, right? You can be grateful in many different arenas, many different medias. But doing a gratitude log helps you understand that you have plenty right now that other people would say, God, I wish I had, right? So that's the FOMO done. Oh, bangers. I can't believe we're going to do this one. No, that is timing. Oh no, do you know what? Moving that one to June. I was going to do energy in, energy out. And if you're a client and watched Sam's thing last night, whoo! So I'm not doing that one because I'm back on Wednesday. So Wednesday of next week, eat what you want. That's the title, eat what you want. And then, oh yeah, this is actually a personal favourite. Health as an investment, that's next Thursday. So Wednesday and Thursday of next week. So a little more recap for those who might be jumping in at the end. Enjoy your Easter, okay? Enjoy your Easter, make decisions, balance out, and energy out, as Sam was saying last night. Have a fantastic bank holiday weekends, and I'll catch up with you all next week.